22 years old, out for a jog, nursing student who, of course, the murder case of Laken Riley at the hands, allegedly, of an illegal Venezuelan immigrant who's on trial this morning in a Georgia courtroom. And this case making national news because Laken Riley's family reached out to then candidate Trump and endorsed him, even campaigned with now President-elect Trump. And I think in many ways the family helped him get elected, among other people, because they felt so strongly that this current administration allowed these unvetted killers into our country and then to prey on those unsuspecting innocent victims. But word how she fought for her life as he beat her, he choked her to death. These chilling details from the prosecution, opening statements got underway within the past hour. And the person, the suspect, the Venezuelan immigrant accused in this case, we're learning about the DNA that detectives say was underneath his fingernails, that DNA matching that of Laken Riley. It's just a sickening, under her fingernails that they found his DNA. That's one of the other allegations as we learn more in the opening statements this morning. I know we have Dan Borowski, our great executive producer, Jimmy Kelly, and you guys have been looking through this.
Yeah.
So I know that you wanted to get to it, Dan.
Yeah, so there was some, the defendant was actually caught on camera down at UGA looking into the apartment of another student, Indian national student.
So is that a dorm or is it like just off campus housing?
I don't know for sure on that.
It's a beautiful campus.
Yeah.
But so in other words, the students live there, and the idea here, Dan, according to the prosecution, right, is that this is the allegation from prosecutors, is that this guy, this Venezuelan guy here illegally, that he was basically a predator hunting for certain females that maybe he had a pattern, he had a look.
It seems that's definitely part of the prosecution opening argument, and the defendant actually, the lawyers just took the stage. If you want to, is that how you say it? I don't really know how to discuss courtroom kind of drama stuff.
Well, these are the opening arguments. So we heard from the prosecution, and now it sounds like the defense.
Do you want to hear the defense?
Yes, and we the taxpayers are paying for the defense, of course.
Judge, the evidence in this case is graphic and it's disturbing. What happened to Laken Riley is graphic and disturbing, and it is a tragedy. The loss of any life that young and apparently full of promise is a tragedy. And I'm sorry that the family is having to go through this and be here for the presentation of this evidence. People have used this case for their own personal gain, financial gain, political gain. And while this process has its place for testing evidence, it's very poorly suited to healing hearts and minds. So it's the evidence that we have to talk about. And the evidence in this case is very good.
This is the defense.
Laken Riley was murdered. The evidence that Jose Ibarra killed Laken Riley is circumstantial.
No, it's not.
The evidence that anyone had any intent or certainly committed any sexual assault is speculation. Most importantly, in this case, you'll hear no evidence that a sexual assault was committed. You'll hear nothing from the GBI, the FBI, UGAPD, ACCPD, that after looking at all of the evidence in this case, scouring for anything that could help prove this allegation in the state's indictment that they found any biological evidence that would suggest that, any physical evidence that would suggest that. There's no injuries that are consistent with the sexual assault. And in this case, it's an effort to explain a tragedy. But it's not based on evidence.
Not according to the prosecution.
The evidence that Jose Ibarra killed anyone is circumstantial. The state's presentation in their opening had a lot of detail about information, again, that showed that this event happened. But upon a closer look at the evidence that links Mr. Ibarra to that event, it is lacking. You'll hear that his phone was in the area, and you'll hear that the cast team that ran the locations of this phone. And there is good evidence that the phone itself was in the area.
Oh my gosh.
What you'll
So he's
also
admitting
hear,
that?
though,
That's good.
is that when they looked into this phone, when they did a close examination of who was using this phone,
What?
it wasn't just Jose Ibarra.
Hold on.
It was other people in that apartment who were using this phone. And that comes through an investigation into the accounts that were used through this phone, and also from people who met other people associated with this phone who had used the phone to message people.
Is he saying someone else?
And
did
so
this?
while the
So you-
phone
That's
was
what he's
there,
trying to create some doubt,
that's true.
some reasonable doubt.
It doesn't show that Mr. Ibarra was there. And you'll hear that Mr. Ibarra's fingerprint was on Laken Riley's phone.
His thumbprint.
But you also hear that he was wearing gloves, supposedly. And that this hole that
You have
was
to take off the
supposedly
gloves
in the
to make the
gloves
phone
that
work.
they found
Right?
would not have left that mark. You'll hear that someone in that video, in the so-called dumpster video, was wearing an Adidas hat. That's true. When they find that hat, and specifically the hat that was tested in this case, it was worn by Diego Ibarra, not Jose Ibarra.
What?
Diego,
His brother.
Ibarra.
So I'm just going to interrupt this because, this is a court-appointed attorney, so obviously, and this is America, so everybody is considered innocent until proven otherwise. Let me just tell you this, there's a very strong case against this guy. They knew that, and that's why they moved to not have a jury trial. So this trial is in front of a judge who will look at the law, and they felt certainly that they would take some emotion out of this. The heart-wrenching part, I will just say, is that, the victim's mom and family, and we got to see the mom because obviously she had campaigned with Trump, and she had spoken out about how she felt that the current situation, the current administration allows killers, gang members like this guy to come in and murder her daughter. But in this case, what they say is, number one, investigators say they tested the recovered jacket that they found from the scene for DNA evidence, and they found a combination of both Jose Ibarra's and the victim, Riley's, DNA on these items. So how do you explain that you have, both the victim and the suspect's DNA on these items? And then also, as I had mentioned earlier, they found Ibarra's DNA beneath her fingernails. And so this was a violent and a brutal attack in which the prosecutors, when they did their opening statements, they said that this guy went hunting for females on the University of Georgia campus And on his hunt, he then encountered this 22-year-old Laken Riley, beautiful student, out for her morning jog. And by the way, again, Riley's family is sitting there right there. Her mom, her dad, her family is there in the court having to hear this. The prosecutor, I think one of the most gripping moments is that she talks about this fight and says that when Laken Riley refused to be this guy's rape victim, he then bashed in her skull with a rock repeatedly. And so that her head was just bashed in and beaten like this. So graphic details as to how she fought for her life, as then he was brutally beating her to death, choking her to death. I can't even imagine as a parent being the strength to be right there in that courtroom.
On February 22nd,
oh my God,
Jose Ibarra put on a black hat,
a
hoodie-style jacket, and some black kitchen-style disposable gloves, and he went hunting for females on the University of Georgia's campus. And in his hunt, he encountered 22-year-old Laken Riley on her morning jog. And when Laken Riley refused to be his rape victim, he bashed her skull in with a rock repeatedly. That is what this case is all about.
So there you hear it. And, the prosecution is well prepared, talking about all kinds of DNA evidence. And that's what this judge will then have to determine here. But, look, the court-appointed attorney has to do his job. He has to do his due diligence, try to create some reasonable doubt that this is actually the guy. And what the defense attorney is going to is that we know that Ibarra's brother, Diego, is one that also has been alleged to be a dangerous gang member from Venezuela. So they both came to this country illegally. And then, of course, we learned what happened, and this is the tragedy of it as well, that this guy, Ibarra, he was arrested in New York back in August of 2023. And he was illegally riding a gas-powered moped, which, if you know anything about New York, this is a huge problem with illegals that are accused of being, gang members. They ride these gas-powered mopeds, and then they'll wreak havoc or steal pocketbooks from, elderly folks or what have you. But in this case, he had a 5-year-old on the back without a helmet or a seatbelt. And so they had stopped him, arrested him, but they released him again. And so then he fled to Florida or to Georgia, and that's where he was joining his brother Diego, one of his many family members here. And the brother Diego, we've learned over the course of this entire situation that the brother has the ties to the dangerous gang. And so the brothers were arrested in Georgia in a Walmart. They were accused of stealing at a Walmart. This was the fall of 2023. Do you know what I'm saying? So it just sounds like they slipped through the system, slipped through the cracks, if you will. And this guy was, according to the authorities, in custody in the sanctuary city of New York City, and that they should have deported him. Call ICE, deport him. And I know Tom Homan has spoken out about this. Many have spoken out about this. But this issue, front and center, just shows you the attitude of what was going on, the attitude of an administration currently. And it's still our current administration. And you've heard so many times, I've done interviews, all of us here, we've talked about how this affects us locally, that these cartel members, gang members who've come to this country illegally, they're here, not just in Georgia or not just at the southern border, but they're here in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, East Coast, in other words. And I've told you about that. I told you about the cartel members who they tracked going in between Montgomery County, accused of burglaries and crimes there, and in between Montgo and all the way to California, right? So this is an active situation, and I'll just say this, and you can comment 855-839-1210. I know a lot of people think, oh, it's a new day and it's all good. No, the cleanup from this administration, from the mess and what I think is a disaster left behind by an administration whose number one job was just to protect us, right? Protect us from elements from around the world, and not just people in a gang, not just people let out of a Venezuelan prison, let's say. But I haven't even talked about the fact that we know actively there are at least 100 people in this country. This is according to Biden-Harris's feds, right? The FBI, we've learned these individuals are here as a terrorist element, terrorist cells. They're here in this country right now. And so to me, this is, it's devastating, but it's also a wake-up call to be diligent. Dan, one of the things you were showing me, I know it's visual, and I know we're on YouTube, but one of the charges against this Ibarra, this now suspect.
Yeah.
Can
Creepy.
you speak to that? Because
So it's a video that is shown by the prosecutors to kind of stress how this guy would regularly go on hunts for women, as the prosecutor was stating, and Lakin would not allow that to happen that day, and that's what led to her murder. But there's a video of him that's incredibly creepy, and you can see that he is. So let me put it this way. You know when you go down the shore and you have like the bi-level kind of motel-looking kind of motels?
Yes.
You know how when you go to a college town they have condos set up in that way? It's almost like that. So I don't know if it's student housing or if it's rentable housing, but it's campus housing for UGA. And in that housing is an Indian student, Indian national who's studying at UGA. And I guess for some reason her door is unlocked, which is an absolutely horrible idea wherever you live. But it's 7 a.m., and you can see Ibarra on video come up to the door, crack open the door, and there's darkness inside the apartment, inside the condo, not exactly sure what it is. And he looks his head in, kind of places his body in the frame, stands there for just a good 30 seconds staring into the darkness. I don't know if he's pondering what he wants to do or if he's considering doing something or what, or just looking if it's I don't know. Is it set up where the bed he can see her sleeping, or so he's just staring at this student for 30 seconds, backs away, slowly shuts the door silently so not to wake anybody, and then just walks away. Really, really like stuff you'd see in a horror movie as a lead up to an absolutely horrifying crime, as is exactly what we saw here happen.
yeah, and that's why even locally, I've reported to you that local police, suburban police, Philadelphia. I mean, I think if you live in the city, you already lock your door as well as your car doors. But we have had messages from law enforcement across our region say, make sure you lock your doors. Chester County, they put that word out. Remember that? Montgomery County, especially. You think that you're safe and you have a custom and a culture of being in a safe community, but you're no longer safe. And so we do have to, and in no way, of course, are we suggesting that it's somebody's fault. Of course, it's not your fault.
No.
The fault, in my humble opinion, is that on this administration, Biden-Harris, who allowed us, the American people, and victims like Laken Riley to be collateral damage in an effort, this is my opinion, but it was an effort to flood the country with what they hoped would be new Democrat voters, because we have population loss, and they wanted them to flood areas that have, like Philadelphia, like New York, right, like L.A., and across the country, and in battleground states like Georgia, right? And so they allowed these folks unvetted, to just flood in by the millions and millions and come into this country without regard for our safety. So at the very least, vet the folks, right? And we can argue about whether or not you should do that and you're breaking the law. But they didn't even bother to do that. It's just like, come on in. And they flooded in, and this is what we have. And so the fault is on this administration. And the reason you must be diligent, lock your doors, lock your windows, is because of Biden-Harris. So we have that going on. Man, I'm fired up. Thank you for finding all that audio, Dan. And this is just breaking news story. We'll continue to update you. There's so much happening. We'll get to the vote recount as well here in Pennsylvania, making national news. Great guests ahead, couple great guests ahead that Dan Borowski has booked. So stay right there, 855-839-1210. Be right back.
Hey, it's Rich Ziola. You know how important privacy is to me. I've been telling you for years, right? I don't want the government tracking me. I don't want companies tracking me. That's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. Privacy Pro is a 3-in-1 subscription service. It includes DuckDuckGo VPN. Gotta have it, especially when you're on the road. Personal information removal. I don't want any of my personal information on the internet. And identity theft restoration. 3 features for the price of 1. And it's from DuckDuckGo. Subscribers get a service that will help you restore your identity if it is stolen. This is unbelievable and so essential in this day and age. Now, here's what you do. You go to duckduckgo.com/1210. You get a week on us. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Exclusive 7-day free trial. Then pay only $9.99 a month. This is privacy that you need. Privacy Pro. And listen, personal information removal. This way nobody knows anything about you. This is what you need in this day and age. Trust me. Privacy Pro. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Sign up now.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Saving for retirement is one thing. Making your money last? For that, you may need some help. Listen to Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
There's breaking news all day long from around the world, and sometimes all that noise makes it hard to hear about what's happening right here at home. With the free Odyssey app, getting your local news plus breaking news is easy. And even when you're not near a radio, stay connected with what's going on right here by listening live and push alerts. Just download the free Odyssey app and search and follow your local news station and you're good to go. The local breaking news to get you through your day at your fingertips on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows. And you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Hi, everyone. This is Dom Giordano here with my friend and dentist, Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group. Dr. Bentz, it's good for everyone to know you have the technology and the people to help. Like John, that guy is an artisan of teeth.
Having the expertise or the knowledge, having this equipment added to that just allows me to get those consistent, efficient results, and it builds up your confidence in my abilities. Having somebody like John, who's been in this business for decades, is a big help. He's able to come in using this equipment, and he helps me build the case as I'm actually doing the work. And that is unbelievably second to none for that, because that is a benefit I'm blessed with, to have that ability to have that lab here.
Dr. Bentz and the team at Bentz Dental Group provide solutions for the most complex dental cases. Call Dr. Bentz today at 610-272-6949 or visit BentzDentalGroup.com. Bentz Dental Group, say it with a smile.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
We have so much developing today. Of course, we'll get to all the latest. Trump in his looking very dapper last night as he spoke. We even had Rocky music and Philadelphia infused with Sly Stallone there, Trump speaking out, and oops, kind of bleated out, whatever you want to say, one of his appointments, Governor Doug Burgum, who I met while he was campaigning for Trump here. So much at that gala event yesterday. The recount, we'll give you an update on that one. Stacey Garrity ahead at in the 11 o'clock hour. So much to talk about. Dan, I love that you booked this interview with a great author, because you love to talk about conspiracy theories in general.
I love it. But this is kind of like reverse here almost, Dawn, because David Harsanyi is a very measured individual. He used to go on Tucker, a couple other shows on Fox News. A great author, has a ton of great books, best-selling books. Just released a book called The Rise of Blue Anon, How Democrats Became a Party of Conspiracy Theorists. It really focuses, Dawn, on the hypocrisy of the left and the way that there's now a sect of the left that's becoming what he deems Blue Anon, which is called his QAnon, his play on QAnon. And what I really want to talk to him about is, in the book, he writes about some of these crazy theories that are popping up. So I want to hear some of these crazy theories that you're hearing from the left that are completely baseless, where they stem from, and who's responsible for this. Because one of the long things I've been preaching here on 1210 WPHT is, and it's one thing I've debated with myself on air with the listeners, is I'm kind of for a ban on TikTok, because I think there's a lot of ideological subversion going on by foreign governments trying to divide the nation. I'm curious, is that at play here in these conspiracy theories with Blue Anon, with QAnon? Are they popping up on TikTok? And is this an effort by a foreign government, an adversary like China, to try to divide society? So David Harsanyi is somebody that's really, really in depth on those kind of topics. So we'll hear from him coming up next, and we'll get into that, Dawn.
I can't wait. I mean, he's going to look into one of my favorite topics, which is the so-called mainstream media as well. So are they complicit? Is it, like Dan says, TikTok? But some of the statistics that we'll talk about as far as Holocaust deniers, those deniers who don't believe that there was actually an attempted assassination or that he was shot in the ear. So we'll get into, you've got to hear all of this, right? Well, we have it just ahead with this great author, David Harsanyi. So we'll get to that. We do have to talk about my kitchen and a little magic. So when it comes to your home, trust is everything. For 45 years, think of 45 years, nearly half a century, Kitchen Magic has built such an incredible reputation for transforming kitchens with precision and care. From the custom cabinets to countertops, backsplashes, storage solutions. And here's the important piece of this, because I don't even want my husband in my kitchen, let alone any kind of a work crew in my kitchen, right? The deal with Kitchen Magic that I love is they get the job done, and they get it done fast. I'm talking about just a few days. Your dream kitchen becomes a reality without the hassle. Trust the name your neighbors have relied on for decades now. Kitchen Magic. Get your free in-home consultation. Go to kitchenmagic.com, put this on the calendar, and let's cook up something extraordinary. kitchenmagic.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
See Joe Conklin at Parks Casino with the world-renowned City Rhythm Orchestra for a special Conklin's Comedy Night Christmas show. Thursday nights, December 5th and 19th.
Was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, there were no presents for Jerry Jones because he's such a louse.
It's Conklin's Comedy Night Christmas show with City Rhythm at Parks Casino, December 5th and 19th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
joeconklin.com! Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our Timeshare Exit Information Kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
Updating our top stories this morning. Great interview with an author talking about election postmortem. It's really a great conversation to think about the newest conspiracy theories and all the stats behind them. But as I look at this, we've been profiling the latest in the pursuit of justice in the case of the murder victim Laken Riley, her family in court this morning as they watch on during the proceedings of the trial of her accused killer. We've been talking about that. And I've been updating you on the 4 counties, at least 4 counties, where RNC attorneys, including our good friend Linda Kearns, she's been in court and had actually texted me 6 o'clock this morning, had been in court again because we now have 4 counties, including Philadelphia, Montgomery County, Bucks County, and then Center County. So we have all of these different 4 counties that, on one hand, are being accused of allowing the counting of ballots that are illegal. And then on top of that, of course, we have that recount that is said to commence. And this is for the election involving, or the race involving Republican Senator-elect Dave McCormick, who took on and apparently beat, I guess, the incumbent Democrat U.S. Senator Bob Casey, who I guess is holding out hope or maybe hoping that this will flip. All the experts, by all accounts, say, nope, it's not going to flip by all of their algorithms and so on and so forth. But they have to do it now, and then we won't know until the 27th of this month, unfortunately. So that recount and all the court battles going on, so we'll update you on that one. I do want to get into, because you know this is one of my things, talking about these ultra-processed foods loaded with all these new chemicals and that it actually makes food more addictive. I talk about this all the time, and I think we're going to see this front and center with the Trump administration. And it's interesting to me, these different individuals who are being proposed for being part of his administration. But RFK Jr., this morning in the so-called mainstream media, he's being called, oh my God, what did CBS call him? They have these interesting names, but, he's a propagandist, and he spins conspiracies, and he's a denier of vaccinations and all of that. Now, for his case, RFK Jr., I will just say that he has said that he's vaccinated, his family's vaccinated, he's not a vaccine denier, but I do know that he is one of the number one environmental attorneys in the nation for many decades and has taken on huge corporations like Monsanto, by the way, and talking about pesticides and talking about the environmental issues.
Are we allowing this to happen to our children? These are the most precious assets that we have in this country. How can we let this happen to them? About 18% of American teens now have fatty liver disease. That's like 1 out of every 5. That disease, when I was a kid, only affected late-stage alcoholics who were elderly. Cancer rates are skyrocketing in the young and the old. Young adult cancers are up 79%. 1 in 4 American women is on antidepressant medication. 40% of teens have a mental health diagnosis. And 15% of high schoolers are on Adderall, and 500,000 children on SSRIs. So what's causing this suffering? I'll name 2 culprits. First and the worst is ultra-processed food. About 70% of American children's diet is ultra-processed. That means industrial manufactured in a factory. These foods consist primarily of processed sugar, ultra-processed grains, and seed oils. Laboratory scientists many of whom formerly worked for the cigarette industry, which purchased all the big food companies in the 1970s and 80s, deployed thousands of scientists to figure out new chemicals to make the food more addictive. And these ingredients didn't exist 100 years ago. Humans aren't biologically adapted to eat them. Hundreds of these chemicals are now banned in Europe, but ubiquitous in American processed foods. The second culprit is toxic chemicals in our food, our medicine, in our environment. Pesticides, food additives, pharmaceutical drugs, and toxic waste permeate every cell of our bodies. The assault on our children's cells and hormones is unrelenting.
So that was RFK Jr. talking about this, and it's something I have talked about for years. The piece of this is, he's talking about the sugar, and he's saying sugar, but I believe that he's including something that, I talk about, which is we started out with, and this was, I believe, the early 70s, that some of these corporations that make these ultra-processed foods and just make snack foods in general, they figured out that it's much cheaper to not use real sugar, right? And so then they started using fructose corn syrup. And by the way, that helps, powerful places like, and think of politically, Iowa, corn, what to do with all that corn, right? And so we see the corn, right, in our fuel, and, right, this is a great way to use this. So they started using corn syrup. Then they realized that if they heat up that corn syrup, right, the highly heated corn syrup, it makes it really sweet. Well, the other problem with it is there are problems when you do this at a very high heat for any food, but especially that corn syrup, because it makes your blood sugar levels, your glucose levels just shoot up, spike. And it's also said to be more addictive than crack cocaine. So and then with the greens. So you go, oh, well, this is the number one ingredient of this bread is whatever. It says whole wheat grain. Well, how was it heated up? How was it processed? You see what I'm saying? Same thing with some of these oils. And that's why, for those of you, when we went on the Italy trip and there was a woman who took us through, and it sounds boring, I guess, but it wasn't. It was amazing. We went through an actual olive oil factory where they produce the olive oil, and they're so proud of it. And the woman who took us on the tour has like a PhD. She's also an educator and a college professor. I learned so much about the processing of oils. And I should send you, I have audio of her I videoed, but she just said that it was a fraud that other places in America sell things like olive oil. She said, it is a fraud. She had this beautiful accent that I can't do. Beautiful woman. Amazing shoes. Everybody in Italy has those amazing shoes, by the way, just even their walking shoes. But she just talked about how she felt it was a fraud. And if you get olive oil, make sure that olive oil is the one country of origin.
Okay.
So even if it's not from Italy, she said, of course you should buy from Italy. But if you don't, if it says multiple countries of origin, that's a big clue and a heads up that it's no good.
You know who supposedly has pretty good olive oil? Costco.
No, don't buy the Costco stuff.
No?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
How about you instead take a trip to Italy to get some fresh olive oil?
Nice.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Little Italy.
Yeah.
Get some fresh. We're going to do that. And then I get in trouble because then I get home and then and I got wine for everybody and I got olive oil for everybody. And then we had a family party and I'm just saying somehow it all disappeared. I'll blame the relatives, certain relatives who know who they are. They might have opened up the bottle, but I knowingly imbibed. You know what I'm saying? So Greg's like, where's my stuff? And I'm like, well, I need another trip, and I promise I'll send you some. It's a sin.
All she brought me was a shirt.
I know, right? Here we go. He's cued the music. Ugh. We're off to paradise again. By the way, everybody on the trip was losing weight. That was what we laughed about. We were
How do you lose weight on a trip to Italy?
And we're eating like
you can't
kings
do
and
that.
queens. But it's all this food that's, not highly processed. It's delicious. Homemade pastas and wine. Oh, it's wonderful. Come away with me to paradise once again, would you? The Italian Riviera gastronomical event, which only Conservative Tours can deliver. I really do. I hope you join me. This is 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours, the best tour operator in all of Italy. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Portofino, Rapallo, Santa Margherita, Ligure, Tuscany. I can't wait to see Tuscany. And the brilliant Cinque Terre. 5378, yes, 5378 includes your airfare, the dining events galore at the wineries in Tuscany, even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. Call toll-free 888-733-9494. You can also go to conservativetours.com, scroll through, you see my picture and my name, and then you'll also see the full itinerary there. And they have some images of some of these places we will visit, like those hidden Italian villages you've never seen in person. Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, Milan, and concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Cinque
You know you have a new
Terre.
nickname?
What is it?
Donatella Versace.
Donatella. I wish I had Donatella Versace's money, right? And her clothing.
Sorry for the interruption.
Yes, I love it.
And thank you to Newman
Donatella.
Price for that one.
Newman, thank you, Newman. Come and join us. Come with me, Donatella. And you'll see Italy as you've never seen it before if you have. Conservativetours.com. Seriously, do this. Conservativetours.com. Tell them Donatella sent you.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Better water leads to a better everyday experience. With treated water from Martin Water Conditioning, you can experience silky smooth skin, refreshed hair after a morning shower. Your clothes and towels feel softer. They're no longer battered with minerals. Your coffee and teas taste better. Your appliances using water lasts longer. Even before you leave your home, your entire morning experience is improved with better household water. If you want to experience better water, call Martin Water Conditioning 800-887-7555 or go online at martinwater.com.
You're a winner this winter when you play Borgata's Winning Wonderland. From now through December 28th, earn entries in slot and table games for your stake in over $1 million in prizes, including 2 2025 Land Rover Range Rovers, each valued at over $150,000. Drawings take place every Saturday with grand prize drawings on November 30th and December 28th. For details, visit theborgata.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back. and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
What do you call the NordVPN Black Friday deal, huh? The Block Friday deal. Because you block online threats. Black Friday, Block Friday. Get it? It's hilarious. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal and block online threats now. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic. Its Threat Protection Pro tool will defend you against web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the special Black Friday deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, Ambler. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Follow us anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
Yeah, so I'm looking at all these updates here with the recounts and the boards of elections. So we'll keep updating you on this. One point of order, if you will, is that there are reports that Elon Musk was claiming that Casey called for a recount, that Senator Casey called for a recount, and they're saying Elon Musk is wrong. Okay, technically, here's how this looks. Technically, the Senator Casey, the incumbent, he could have said by the deadline this week, and I reported this at the time, he could have said he would waive the recount. Because he could have said, no, it's obvious by the way this is going and where the votes are, and it's a really thin margin here that they get to trigger this, but it is legal. So I'm not suggesting that Casey's doing something illegal. I'm simply saying that there were calls for Casey to waive that recount right because it's a minimum price tag to us, we the people, the taxpayers. A minimum of $1 million tax dollars. So you've heard different estimates. It could be more than $3 million for this. So that stinks. To be fair, I will point out, and I said this earlier on Kale and Company during the news, you may remember with Dr. Oz and McCormick, to be fair, there was a recount. I will say I believe that was much closer, and there were other issues going on. Also, my question is, because you have 4 counties who've decided, and these are Democrat run or dominated counties like Philadelphia, and even the Democrats, it's 2 to 3, those those commissioners and the Board of Elections in Bucks County, Montgomery County. So they had voted to go ahead and count these different ballots that they knew are illegal. So it's my belief that because they started counting those, then that was upping the margin to allow the recount. So that's one of my questions to Linda Kearns, that moving forward, I know that she's headed into court this morning, and man, it just doesn't end for her, Dan, for Linda Kearns. I mean, she just continues to have to go to court and fight, all of these cases. And that's why the Republicans this time around did not get played, because you heard Michael Whatley tell me, what was that, a week or so ago, they had in place well over 6,000 of these attorneys who were poised to do these challenges both before and after the election, thinking we're not going to get played, we're not going to have any monkey business. And I will tell you that I've even talked to family members as well. Many of you have called in, community members who've said, you know what? All these court challenges before and after makes me feel as if there's more transparency and they're watching over it and they're challenging every little thing, which holds everybody's feet to the fire to make sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed. Do you know what I'm saying? So let's hope for that this can end sooner rather than later. I hope it doesn't go all the way till the 27th. It doesn't have, the recount doesn't even have to start until next Wednesday. So I think that stinks.
Yeah.
It's like, come on already.
So been in contact with Linda. She is not available right now, but we will hear from her as soon as possible. Also to the audience,
because she's in court, right? I mean, she's in the heat of the battle.
The board
if
of
you will.
elector somewhere.
So we've got.
She's always on the move. It's crazy. This
I know, right?
Yeah, it's
she's
impressive.
Busy, not getting a break.
Yeah.
Other news of the day that we've been talking about. I know we talked about RFK Jr. I do want to get more into that.
I got a comment that I could ask you about.
Yes.
Because I'm curious your thoughts on this.
Yes.
Dwayne, youtube.com/@12WPHT on the RFK says, I wonder what impact RFK Jr. will have on fast food restaurants and convenience stores and all the preservative foods that they sell. Susie says, Dwayne, if he just wakes people up to the crap we are eating and the sickness it could cause, that just alone would be a win. Dawn, your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts on it are, okay, first of all, my kids tuned me into this because they said, my sons, we went someplace and they go, oh, good, Mexican Coke. And I was like, what?
It's pure cane.
And they're like, yeah, Mexican Coca-Cola. So we're not soda people at all, which is even the diet stuff. It's so loaded with chemicals.
How about Poppy?
Poppy?
Do you know what Poppy is?
Like opium?
No,
like,
no. It's like a new. It's like a new
what?
drink, like a take on soda.
No.
That's kind of like a seltzer, but they make it in like Coke flavors.
Yeah. But so they said Mexican Coke. I was like, what is different about it's Coca-Cola? And they're like, no, because in Mexico they don't allow all the chemicals.
Yeah.
And so they said it's good. It tastes good, and it doesn't make them feel awful. So if we go somewhere.
But it's pure sugar.
It is, but that's the point.
It's not high fructose corn syrup.
It's not like high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
It's the highly processed
with a
stuff.
bunch of chemicals you can't pronounce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to that point, because McDonald's has been around for a long time, I think it's unfair to blame.
Still got that cocaine in it, though.
Cocaine.
Just kidding.
But yeah, it used to have cocaine in it.
I know. Yeah.
But here's the thing: even cigarettes. That was a big investigation way back in the day that we learned that cigarettes used to be tobacco. Then the tobacco corporations realized that they could put certain chemicals into the product to make it as addictive as something like crack cocaine. And it's cruel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the allegations by RFK Jr., and he's not alone. There are others who've said this for years, and they say that those people with the tobacco industry now are some of the same executives who work in the food industry.
Oh, my gosh.
And so, okay, my whole point on this, honestly, is if this is true, because it's really cruel. It's cruel in society. When you think of kids who get bullied for being overweight, all the health problems.
Oh, yeah.
And so if they're really saying this and they will prove it to us as Americans, that our own government was, I guess, by omission, allowing the companies to do this, or if the companies were really doing this to make it more addictive or to make the shelf life, I assume that part of this is the shelf life, it can survive like a decade or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then do we get damages as American people? I mean,
it's choice, though.
We're victims, Dan.
I know,
we're
but
victims.
at the same time, I'll play devil's advocate
right?
to a degree here, and it's kind of something I believe, but let me be free to get fat. Like how is it the government's role to get into my refrigerator and tell me I can't have my highly reprocessed Lunchables that I love so much?
Because, here's why. I'll tell you. Because the idea here is that we didn't have, so everybody in the country has always been free to be fat. But why is it that it's all been supersized, pun intended? Why is it that we have this obesity epidemic now? In other words, if those same foods, the argument would be, Your Honor, I'm like in the court of public opinion, 855-839-1210. But if those same foods, if we had the ice cream, right, the brownies, the cookies, the chips that we've always had, but nobody was obese, then are we saying that you could have those same foods, but that they created them to create the obesity epidemic? That's the allegation here, which is pretty horrible. And I hate to believe this, but that's that's the allegation.
All right, but
Dunkaroos. They did it so that they could cure it. They created the problem so they could then create the cure, like Ozempic.
Lunchables, Dunkaroos, fruit roll-ups, those things, can you really make them healthy and keep them on shelves long? And don't they just go away if you enforce that they can't have these types of preservatives and chemicals that we Americans have become so accustomed to?
Okay, this is what we should do. We should do a study where we have...
Don't touch my Dunkaroos, Dawn.
Well, but we should do a thing where you have people who eat the European version of it, or things that are similar that don't have the processed stuff. Then you have the other group that's eating all the junk food with all of these chemicals that they say make us get fat and unhealthy. And because we're the fattest and the most unhealthy in the world, even over third world countries. That's crazy that we are this wealthy nation and yet we are the unhealthiest. It's like that movie WALL-E. Remember that? Where we're all going to be in Elon Musk's rocket, all fat, can't even get out of the chair.
All in the scooters.
On a rocket to Mars.
Yeah.
So they can control us.
Yeah, kind of already there.
Because if you're fat, and you're wobbling around, you know what I mean? They're going to control, and you're addicted to everything, including food. Or if you're not fat, but you have their Ozempic, what they're making billions of profits.
Yeah, right?
So
it seems
way.
like the whole Ozempic thing really makes me feel like the pharmaceutical and food industry is in cahoots. We'll make you fat on one hand, and then we'll make you skinny on the other.
That's the skinny on our fat controversy.
Yeah.
So we'll see. This is the allegation by people like RFK Jr. So is that a conspiracy? Your thoughts, 855-839-1210. So around the corner, we'll update you on there's so much breaking this Friday. There are always those sneaky little stories. I'll also tell you about why you need to look up to the night sky this weekend. Okay, so a little fun with that. Stacey Garrity, my favorite redhead, our favorite redhead, right? We'll let her take a victory lap and talk to Stacey Garrity. That's just up ahead. Talk about money. She's the treasurer of Pennsylvania. Did I do a good job teasing that? All right, yes. He's giving me the thumbs up. Thank you. It's Friday. TGIF. Dan, Dawn, Jimmy Kelly. We'll be right back.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Hey, it's Greg with Kale & Company. The NBA is back, and FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casinos, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action. Right now, FanDuel is giving everyone, let me repeat that, everyone, 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do is catch every tip-off and buzzer beater and place any $5 bet on the NBA to get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Let me repeat that again, 3 months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel. All you have to do is go to FanDuel.com/Greg, FanDuel.com/Greg to make every moment more this NBA season. By the way, if you want to bet on the Philadelphia 76ers futures, will they make the championship? Will they make the playoffs? You can do it all right there. $5 bet. You get 3 months of NBA League Pass for free. FanDuel.com/Greg. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA and the official partner of 1210 WPHT. 21 and over, present in PA. After a 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime. No refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie, your radio doctor. Every Saturday afternoon at 5, I talk with doctors and medical specialists from around the country to discuss the latest information about heart disease, cancer prevention, topics in women's health, pediatrics, mental health, and more. Then you can make better decisions for yourself and your loved ones. Your radio doctor, Saturdays at 5, here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, because your health is your wealth.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Live and local from Philadelphia. The Dawn Stensland Show on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Yes. The developing story out of Pennsylvania making national news. By the way, Zioli looking good, using my bronzer and powder on Fox News on the set. Did you see that yesterday? As the the counting continues, the vote counting continues in the Pennsylvania's tight race in the Senate here. And so now we're looking at this hotly contested race, and it's Democrat Senator Bob Casey, and we have Republican challenger Senator-elect, obviously Dave McCormick, who all the experts say is going to win. But unfortunately, we, the people, the taxpayers, we got to foot the bill of this recount, which stinks. So we'll talk about that. Some of you sang on the YouTube chat, making baking great again. So I love it. And I agree with you, Suze, on Aldi. So we'll continue those conversations about healthy eating and all that good stuff. I have so much fun with this. And
Pure cane sugar, apparently.
I know, pure cane sugar, which is much healthier than the high fructose corn syrup.
Huh.
So, well, we're not going to talk about corn syrup, but we've got to talk about a woman who actually might possibly have received more votes than one Donald J. Trump in Pennsylvania. See, this is very interesting to me, and if we get a chance to talk to him, we'll have to ask President-elect Trump, there's one place, the Commonwealth of PA, somebody might have beaten you out. Our own re-election of Treasurer Stacey Garrity, who I call my Pennsylvania's favorite redhead, right? So, Treasurer Stacey Garrity, welcome in. A huge congratulations as Dan Borowski, our great executive producer, plays a little money, a little jingle just in your honor. How are you? Happy Friday.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. It's always great to see you out. I have to just say this. I'm so sorry. Our condolences. We said a prayer for you last week.
Thank you.
Lost your dad, and it's so funny. My dad and my husband said, you know what? Her dad got to see her victory, big victory, and so I know he's in heaven proud of you. But I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, that's truly the definition of bittersweet.
Oh my goodness. So moving on, as we think about, first of all, if you want to thank people, because I know we had so many people who believe in you. You had, oh my goodness, it looks like when it's all said and done, I know they're doing the recount, but it looks like you may have actually had more votes than Donald J. Trump in the Commonwealth of PA. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so honored and thankful for the people of Pennsylvania that put their trust in me.
And so for you, as far as, do you have a comment about the recount and the costs of such a recount?
My goodness. Well, I mean, I think is it 28,000 votes, something along those lines. Senator Casey, and, you know, I do work with him on PA Able. He called me when my dad passed, and, you know, he's a good person, but there's not enough votes that he's going to make up that 28,000. Dave McCormick is absolutely going to be our next senator. So I think it's probably Bob Casey's staff or, you know, leadership, because I can't imagine that he wants to drag this out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame. I mean, I know it's his right, but it's just, it's a bummer whenever we see these. Let me get into something that you believe in and something that you talked a lot about. And I think it in essence connected you so much, Stacey Garrity, is you are the treasurer of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but you talked a lot about, and you know, you're a retired U.S. Army Reserve Colonel, by the way, Colonel Stacey Garrity. But I will say that you talked a lot about the Treasury, and that people should check to see if they have, you know, some money that they don't realize is there. And it became very popular. It became a talking point, because I think normally people are like, oh, the treasurer, you know, they don't really maybe think about the treasurer. I know you're out a lot and you do a lot of charity work, nonprofit work, but it's something that I would love for you to update, because it's something that you've talked about that people don't even realize that they really should go to your website. They should always check their name and see. Maybe they have some of this money they don't even realize is there.
Absolutely. So first of all, I was so blessed to have a great first term. We broke about every record in Treasury, but one of those records you're mentioning is unclaimed property. So we returned more than $750 million of unclaimed property in the first term, set a record for the most returned in a single year, which is about $274 million in fiscal year 22-23, and set a record for the most returned in a 2-year period, over $505 million combined in fiscal year 22-23 and 23-24. That includes returning military decorations, which I received from abandoned safe deposit boxes. So I was able to return over 450 military decorations, including 11 Purple Hearts and 3 Bronze Stars. But we really push that, because right now, when inflation is so high and 1 out of 10 Pennsylvanians has unclaimed property, getting a little bit of money can help a long ways for people that might be struggling.
And I know for you, you know, we've talked about this before. I've talked about this before with you, Stacey Garrity, that you, before becoming the treasurer, and that was a big upset, right? When it was, you know, let's not forget. But before you entered into this public life, you were one who served. I mean, you spent nearly 30 years in the Army Reserve and had 3 combat deployments in the Middle East. And I wonder, you know, we just talked about Veterans Day just on Monday. I know that your dad was somebody who inspired you, if you will, to get you into service. But when you think about what's going on with our military right now, as far as a lack of recruitment, as well as problems with our, you know, veterans who come home, don't feel appreciated. We have a homeless issue. We have an opioid crisis. Can you speak to some of those things?
Sure. So, yes, I spent 30 years in the Army Reserve, and as you said, 3 deployments all to the Middle East. Last deployment was in 2008-2009, where I was the acting battalion commander at Camp Bucca in southern Iraq, had 7,000 detainees, 1,200 soldiers under my command. And unfortunately, now it is a totally different world, because we used to focus on readiness. So we used to say, if you have $1, what would you spend it on? And it's being ready. You know, making sure your soldiers are ready, making sure that we're ready to, you know, protect and defend America. And now just the emphasis, the focus is way, you know, it's all gone, you know, kind of woke. So I am very encouraged, because I know the administration, they're going to get back to the basics. We're going to get back to focusing on what we need to focus on, and that's being prepared. And I am a real believer in peace through strength. And I think we lost that in the past 4 years, and I am so encouraged. I know that we're going to get it back. I mean, we would have never, under a President Trump, had that disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan where everything we did was backwards. You don't leave your equipment behind unless you blow it up first, and you don't. Your soldiers, your military members always leave last, not first. So that was a senseless, needless loss of 13 service members' lives, and so that I think that was the beginning of the end of the current administration's downfall.
Yeah. When we think about, I will say this as far as the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, have we ever had a woman governor?
We have not.
Huh. Well, that's curious.
What are you implying there, Dawn?
I don't know. A couple girlfriends and family, they're like, I like that Stacey Garrity. Have we even ever had a woman governor? Not that it's because you're a woman.
It's always the follow-up question.
I know, right? She knew where I was going with that. Any interest in higher office? I mean, I know you just you're just reelected, and so I know you're grateful to you put out wonderful statements about everybody who worked very hard door to door in your campaign. But beyond that, it's a natural question, is it not?
It is, and my phone is like blowing up about it. And we've also, I don't believe, ever had a female senator. So I think there's a lot of opportunity. But right now, I'm laser focused on just being the best treasurer that I can be for the great people of the Commonwealth.
For you moving forward, what as you, because now you've been in the job, right? You've gotten to know, like you've said, you've worked with so many individuals within government. But for you, what is your priority or your top priorities as you move now into your new administration? You have a lot of support. You look at that vote count. You look out at how people know who you are and appreciate you. What are your top priorities, and what will you perhaps change or embellish as you move forward?
You know what? We've been on a roll, and I really want to continue that momentum. So we're going to return even more unclaimed property. So Pennsylvania Money Match passed and was signed into law by the governor. And so starting in January, that's going to allow Treasury to return proactively up to $500 automatically. It's going to be fantastic. And I worked with Republicans and Democrats, including Representative Ryan Bizzarro, who was a former opponent of mine, and Governor Josh Shapiro to get that bill, which passed both the House and Senate unanimously. Can you believe that? Signed into law. So it literally cut red tape out of state government, and that doesn't happen very much. So I'm going to continue to fight for account holders for PA 529. That's our college and career savings plan, and PA ABLE. So in my first term, I cut fees for both of those by more than $17 million. And every penny of that goes right into the accounts owned by Pennsylvania families that are saving for education or disability-related expenses. And by the way, those fee cuts are one of the reasons we earned the gold rating from Morningstar for our college and career savings plan. And I'm going to make sure that we keep that rating, and I'm going to continue building bipartisan relationships across the state. So I will work with anyone that wants to make Pennsylvania a better place to live, work, and raise a family. So I don't care if you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, or independent, whatever the political affiliation is, I'll work with you. And I've proven that over and over again. And actually proven that the first day of the job when I had Treasurer Torsella, the outgoing treasurer, speak at my swearing-in ceremony.
Dan, our executive producer, he just texted me and said, Dawn, I just looked at the site. You have unclaimed property.
Get on that, Dawn.
So
you're one of the 10 Pennsylvanians.
I know.
See?
Get your money. It doesn't belong to the state.
And here I'm doing interviews with you over the years, and I didn't even check it. So everybody's got to check it. It's just such a pleasure to catch up with you. So I hope we continue the conversation. I will definitely look at the site What's the site again, by the way, Dan? I should know it because I've said it a million times, and obviously I'm a hypocrite. Didn't even search my own name.
It's unclaimed.property.
Yes, okay, John.
unclaimed.property.paTreasury.gov.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well,
It takes about 2 minutes to claim your money, so if you need help, call me.
Well, thank you so much.
Before you let her go,
Oh, yes.
can I just highlight? I think Stacy
course.
has the coolest nickname of any of our guests
Oh,
that
this
ever
is
come on
true.
the show. Yeah, the angel of the desert. Just want to
Yes,
put that out there.
Desert Storm.
Yes.
Angel.
And it's because
is.
of compassion too, which is absolutely fascinating. Fascinating to read up on your story, Stacy. It really is.
Oh, thank you. And thanks again for having me. It's so great to be on with you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, we just really want to let you take a victory lap and just have a conversation. Honest, if you want, we've been talking about healthy food. We could talk about that too. Baking. They said we've got to make baking better. Making baking great again, if I can spit that out. But we've been having
We're going to
fun.
make a lot of things great again, aren't we?
Amen, sister. That's right. Well, our
That's
own.
right.
Stacey Garrity, thank you so
Treasurer.
much. Yeah, thank you, Treasurer. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Dad.
Have a great Friday. Yeah, here's the thing. When you think about this, Dan, because by all accounts, everybody is saying now Josh Shapiro has his eye on higher office.
Mm-hmm.
And so next time around, so is he gearing up for that?
Yeah.
And so it's just a natural progression, right? She's going to run for governor. Am I wrong?
I mean, who's democratically going to step
who
into
else?
the role?
Yeah, who's going to? Right?
Yeah.
So we have to. Do you think she will? 855-839-1210.
That's a very
Could
interesting
be-
topic moving forward. Yeah. And who else on the Republican side
Who-
is someone
yeah,
that's going to be?
Who's teed up? Who wants that
Yeah.
job? I mean, it's a huge job. It gives you that executive experience,
Uh-huh.
right? So in our country, we like governors to go on to be president because they have that executive decision-making skill set, right? So it's a pretty cool progression in my opinion. And you know me, I didn't say, because she's a woman, I didn't say that. I'm going to get ripped on that, but I'm just saying it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
We've never had a woman
Something you
to
definitely
get the
hear
job.
often. Something you definitely hear often. Hey, yeah, because I'm looking here. I think 2022 and 2024's primaries for the Senate race is going to tell a lot as to who might run for governor.
That's a good point. Well, and do you think so? For Fetterman, this will be upcoming his first real test, as he'll be up
Well,
for
I don't.
re-election.
You think Fetterman has?
When he?
You think he wants to stay in Washington, or you think he wants to come back to the state?
That would be interesting if he ran for governor, but I think no matter what, he's very popular.
So here are the names that were primary candidates in 2022 for Democrats: Malcolm Kenyatta, Alexandra Khalil, Connor Lamb, Valerie Arkush, Cale Doherty, Larry Johnson, Kyle Norton, Eric Orts, Alan Schenck, Walter Slazinski, Sharif Street, Lou Tapera, Kevin Baumlin, John McGuigan. Any of those sound?
Nope.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Because, and think about Val Arkush, of course, the Dom show, you guys did that sounder, that Arkush. But as we learn more about, remember that? So think about it. Anybody involved with that in the Governor Wolf administration, anybody involved with the shutdowns, I think they don't have a shot because they'll be ripped. Because as we learn more, the further the further the distance away from COVID, all of the investigations, all of the things that are going to come to light now, because think about it. You have the House and Senate now Republican controlled. They will hold these ethics type of hearings, and they will want the transparency. They will want all of this information to come out. And so as it comes out, I don't think it bodes well for any of those individuals who banned our children from schools, banned us, remember, from churches, from gyms, from going to a doctor or somebody who, let's say, is battling addiction and they go to their support group, right? And a lot of the gyms also have those support groups, so there's overlapping on those issues. I think any of those individuals, it doesn't age well for them as far as that's just my humble opinion.
And then Republican side, you have McCormick, who's a little tied up.
Yeah.
I think Oz is out of the political game now, right? Mm-hmm. Kathy Barnett, Republican.
For governor?
Yeah. You think she might be interested in throwing her hat in the ring?
She swears to me, I always say, Kathy, are you going to run? Are you going to run again? Because she was, I love her. I don't talk about it, the baggage. I'm trying to get rid of the baggage of, what happened with that whole thing. And she's so gracious, she doesn't talk about it. I did see that The View is looking for another, like a Trump patriot conservative, not a faux alleged.
Would you
Republican
throw your hat in the
conservative.
ring, Dawn Stensland?
Well, it's so funny because Larry said this. He saw it. He goes, Dawn, there's word that The View is looking for.
Seriously, like you'd make a great,
But I think
panelist on there.
Well, thank
Just
you.
to own them all.
But I said to him,
Like your level of intelligence is,
thank
tenfold what they have. So.
But I think
I don't know how long it would last. But.
Well, think about it though. Kathy, I immediately said, Larry, Kathy Barnett, like maybe because she did tell me. She did tell me she was, she had a trip and a couple. I'm like, okay, either, she's maybe is she? At
I would
Mar-
actually,
is she-
yeah.
Where is she? Is she at Mar-a-Lago? Is she at Bedminster? Or is she at ABC Studios in New York? Because remember, they probably would love somebody from the Philadelphia area because 6ABC is their number one station.
And let's remember, Barnett didn't just come out of anywhere. She does have media experience.
right.
She was a Fox News,
Fox News she was on
Yeah.
the curvy couch, and she ran for Senate, so she knows everybody who's anybody, and she ran Vivek Ramaswamy's grassroots campaign. So to me, I think that is like, wow, that's a no-brainer.
I just worry if she were on The View that
she would eat
she'd
them
be
alive.
exploited a lot of times. So.
Well, they would try to trigger.
And they'd back her into corners and make conservatives look bad, and I don't know if that's a good thing.
If Kathy Barnett goes on The View, we have to take it every day live, and then we have to have all of us like calling them.
So you're more on the camp for Kathy
and
for View
like
rather
I'm
than
gonna
Kathy
be like
for
her
Go.
campaign man. Like we would be. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
We would be her. I don't know, her watchdogs, and we would just troll all those nasty, and they try to interrupt her, and she would like do a smackdown. It'd be beautiful.
A couple other names that stayed until the end for that Senate primary: Carla Sands, Sean Gale, George Paquetto, and another very interesting name that's familiar with 1210, Jeff Bartos. I wonder if he'd consider something.
Well, yeah, I mean, we love Jeff Bartos. We love George Paquetto.
Yeah.
So those are some
Paquetto
good,
too.
right?
And one other name that's someone that he withdrew from the primary, but that was who I think would probably be Donald Trump's candidate, Sean Parnell. Yeah.
That's an interesting one. So a lot of competition. I think out of all of this, what I will say is the future of the Republican
Actually,
Party.
Bartos might have that Trump endorsement too.
Yeah, I think Bartos.
Yeah.
I think Jeff.
Maybe
Because he
Kathy.
campaigned-
It's tough.
Yeah,
Trump
Kathy
would have a
too.
tough decision there.
Maybe he'd just stay out of it. That would be my advice. Just say they're all good.
Oh, what a nice nice compliment from Chris. Dawn, don't ever leave. The View would be a huge step down from WPHT.
Aw, thank you. Love you back, Chris. Yeah, I just think it would be difficult to work with those women and not, you know me. It has nothing to do. I love the conversation, but they don't even have a conversation or show respect among themselves. They're like, I mean, there's so negative energy. Could you even work in that? Talk about a toxic work environment.
No.
Oh my goodness.
And trying to get your words in. No, thank you.
I know.
Mangle Mush says, "Hey, is Jimmy running the steps going to be live streamed?" That's Jimmy Matthews with the Kale and Company doing that next week. I think it's Wednesday, right? At 8:30.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to live stream it and show him doing the run. Speaking of which, did you guys see Sly Stallone? I'm a huge fan. Sylvester Stallone.
What do you do?
And he introed Trump last night. It was epic.
Really?
He told the story about, he got a little emotional about wanting, because he's a producer and director, obviously, not just the actor, but he wanted for the Rocky scene, for one, I guess, was it the original Rocky or one of the movies, he got this Philadelphia
I got that audio
church.
if you want it.
Yeah, let's do it.
When I did Rocky, if you remember, the first image
You're gonna
was a
love this.
picture of Jesus, and it says Resurrection AC Club. I found a church that had been converted to a boxing ring. So the image pans down from Jesus onto Rocky being hit. And at that moment, he was a chosen person, and that's how I began the journey. Something was going to happen. This man was going to go through a metamorphosis and change lives, just like President Trump. We are in the presence of a really mythical character. I love mythology. And this individual does not exist on this planet. Nobody in the world could have pulled off what he pulled off, so I'm in awe. And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations!
Woo! That, my friends, I got choked up when he talked about the church and the comeback and the whole thing. That was amazing. Love it. And I love that Sylvester Stallone loves Trump. And Trump was thrilled. He comes up. He's all dapper in the tux and the bow tie. And then later, well, do we have to take a quick break? I'll tell you what he was talking, and he was supposed to make an announcement about a cabinet member tomorrow. And then, oops, the person was there in the crowd, and he said the person's name, and they're like, people were like, you weren't supposed to say it or whatever.
I mean, I do a Sylvester in studio if you want to talk to him real quick.
Woo, Sylvester.
Hey, yo, how you doing? What's going on with that microphone? You know what I mean?
Don't blame the microphone, Sylvester.
Hey, yo, you know what? Trump, when I did Rocky 6, I said, you know what it is? It ain't about how hard you could hit. It's about how hard you can get hit. And Donald Trump, he kept getting hit and just kept moving forward. You know what I mean? Like when I was fighting the Powell and Mickey.
I think it's time to hear from the president. Sorry, Sylvester.
Hey, yo, by the way, I'm glad you guys like Tulsa King. It was a great show.
Love that show.
Oh,
yeah,
it's terrible,
really,
dog.
I love that show.
Oh, you like Tulsa King?
You don't
I
like
do.
Tulsa King?
No. Well, wait, hold on. You can't.
It's kind of hokey. Come on.
No, I'm sorry.
I know it's kind of hokey, but I love.
Kind of hokey. I
love
know
it.
it's very much beloved, probably by the audience too, but the writing's terrible. Sylvester's not a great actor in it by any means.
I like
I got through 3 episodes. I couldn't do it. My dad's like, you got to watch the whole thing. I'm like, it's not that good, Dad. I'm sorry.
You got to watch the whole show. It's like when you go see a Rocky movie. You know what? In Rocky 7,
Gosh, here he goes again.
In Rocky 7 or Rocky 5000, whatever it's going to be, Donald Trump's going to be at the fight. He's going to do a guest spot, but don't forget, Jimmy Matthews, I want to be up there, hey.
Sly's a great storyteller.
I know, right?
He is.
Tell him, Trump's like, excuse me, you got to get off the stage now. But it was good, and they hugged. It was like, did a bro hug, not a like a hug, but like a bro hug they did. But we got to talk about my friends at Piazza Premium Automobiles, featuring the latest luxury vehicles from today's top brands. I'm talking about Mercedes-Benz, Jaguar, Land Rover, BMW, Porsche, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and so much more. These models have sleek new designs as well as innovative features powered by the very latest in technology. And Piazza, right now, they have thousands of these new and certified pre-owned vehicles available at their dealerships across Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey. Piazza Premium Automobiles stands out. Visit them, Piazza, PiazzaPremiumAutos.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. One of the biggest, healthiest sales of the year is back again. Rescue Natural Supplements Black Friday sale is here. Right now, Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity and cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab huge savings on omega-3s, probiotics, and a lot more. And one more thing, this Rescue Black Friday sale will run the entire month of November. So shop today at res-q.com, res-q.com, or call a Rescue product consultant at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Again, all Rescue supplements are up to 80% off during the entire month of November, so why wait? Shop massive savings on essential supplements right now at res-q.com. Do it today.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Need new doors and windows, but not high-pressure sales tactics?
If so, give Emmons a call today. At Emmons, we provide top-notch installation service with a focus on quality and customer satisfaction with brands like Anderson and Provia Windows and Doors.
And you can upgrade your home today with our energy-efficient options, which help save you money.
Call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Business owners can count on McCausland Lock and Alarm to secure and control access to their facilities. Enjoy peace of mind while their access control and CCTV systems provide top-of-the-line protection for your assets. Tom McCausland's wealth of experience allows McCausland to effectively protect all types of facilities in any environment, and their customer service is unmatched. Call today, 610-430-1500. 610-430-1500. McCausland Lock and Alarm, securing your business, securing your future.
Medicare is making important changes in 2025. Independence Blue Cross can help. Our Medicare Advantage plans include premiums as low as $0, dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage. The deadline to enroll is December 7th. Visit ibxmedicare.com/radio. Independence Blue Cross offers PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Independence Blue Cross PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
It is a nice finish to the work week with increasing sunshine through the day. High temperature back near average at 58. For tonight, mostly clear, chilly, low 45 for the city, colder out in the suburbs. And a very nice Saturday shaping up, plenty of sunshine and milder with a high 62.
Hey, Southampton. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Say my name, no one is around.
we have a big announcement, and I won't tell you the name of his, the exact name. I think he's an incredible person. He's got an unbelievably wonderful wife named Catherine. So I won't tell you his name. Might be something like Burgum. He's from North Dakota. He's going to be announced tomorrow for a very big position. So everybody's waiting. There he is. Hi, Doug. He's going to be announced tomorrow, and we have somebody else that's probably coming up with him to be announced, who's a big one. And we're going to do things with energy and with land, interior, that is going to be incredible. And so I look forward to doing the formal announcement, although this is a pretty big announcement right now. Actually, he's going to head the Department of Interior, and he's going to be fantastic.
So, Governor Doug Burgum, as the Destiny's Child of the latest Destiny's Child, that's their song, of the Trump administration. So we got that going on, which is nice. We met him. For those of you who attended one of the many Trump Force 47 events, yeah, Trump Force, baby. I do get a kick out of all the social media, the stuff with Trump and Elon Musk dancing. And my family was kind of making fun of me, but I'm like, I'm just in celebration mode. I know that they're in work mode to fix everything, but it's just kind of funny. I'm serious.
You're having a great week, huh?
I know. It's just like, So my husband was like, "Aren't you tired?" It was like
slept?
This hectic week, and I'm like, "No, I'm just running on the fumes of happiness, and I'm so excited I am for the future and hopeful for the future." I don't know. Maybe you think I'm crazy or I'm being overly optimistic, but that's how I feel.
No, I think you have the right to be.
Yeah.
I like for the first time, I felt the same way. It was a big relief.
You did?
Yeah. After the election, it was like, whew, there might be hope. There might be hope for the future. It's kind of corny to think, right? But it's true.
So I had said, I'll just give you some quick headlines so I update you that the SEPTA strike, I talked earlier about the city's largest municipal workers. Remember, they may go on strike, and this is the water department. I think it's a piece of some of the sanitation department. We could have a SEPTA strike looming because, remember, they still don't have that contract deal. They've been working for a week now without a contract. We have officials condemning that Nazi flag being flown at a private home, Montgomery County, Lansdale area, and there's at the local Wissahickon Library. They're planning now to have a very peaceful protest, more of supporting the two synagogues that are right there. Ugh, that's a sin. And then the Inquirer, just looking at what they have about the Casey Senate race with McCormick, they say that Casey is pinning his hope on these small county level fights over the contested votes. And so this is something that I've been honing in on, as you know, but these are those illegal votes. That's why Linda Kearns right now, God bless her, she's in the heat of the battle. You talk about fight. So all these lawyers, RNC lawyers, GOP lawyers, they're now fighting with the local county boards of elections. And this is Philadelphia. This is Montgomery County. This is Bucks County. And to some extent, Center County. Let's, on that note, 855-839-1210. Joan, hi there. Happy Friday.
Hi, Dawn. You just answered my question about the recount going on. I was just reading an article yesterday about the people in Bucks County, Marseglia, and, I don't remember their names off the hand, but, they're just saying, well, we don't care. We're going to count ballots that aren't dated, aren't signed, or whatever. They're just doing everything that they can that's against the rule of law, and I was just very concerned about that. We're kind of tired of it here. Yeah. I'm in Bucks County, and we just want to move on, and it's just kind of dragging out. So you pretty much answered my question. I'm glad that they're still all over it on the Republican side, and so thank you very much.
No, thank you, Joan.
I'm sorry, I'm a little late to the party. I wasn't able to listen earlier, but I just told your screener that I just tuned in, and I was like, did she talk about that?
Yeah, well, ironically, thank you for calling, Joan. And ironically, 6 o'clock this morning, you talk about Linda. She must have been on her way to one of these battles that she's helping to wage with other attorneys, right? But she had texted me bright and early, and she had said, this is what's going on, and she's been updating us. And maybe she'll even be able to call with some breaking news during the Dom show upcoming. But this continues. You know, this is an active situation, and everybody keeps saying, and even to their credit, Philadelphia Inquirer, AP News, they're saying that with 98% of the vote in, that with the numbers and the difference, whether it's 26, 28,000, we've heard these fluctuations, that there's no way that Casey could make up that level of, you know, tens of thousands of votes where McCormick remains ahead. And so what the Inquirer is suggesting is that they're trying to put in some things that are going to that then would be challenged in court and would be thrown out because they are not legal ballots. That's the bottom line.
You made me feel
here.
much better.
All right. Well, yeah, say a prayer, cross your fingers. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate it. But, you know, Casey, I'm not suggesting that Casey personally is doing something illegal, because it is legal technically, but he could have waived it because they know the outcome, right? That's the bottom line.
T and Cherry Hill's checking in because she feels very similar to how we're both feeling, Dawn.
Uh-oh. Hey, you.
Hey, you.
How are you?
I'll tell you what. I'm telling you now, I am so jazzed. I am just so jazzed. And everybody I talk to says the same thing.
Yep.
Even my Democrat friends say, you know what? There's something different in the air.
That's well put.
I agree.
Yeah. It's like this magical. Thank you, T. I agree with you. I feel that we have this opportunity. I hope that we can end some of this divisiveness. And here's the thing with Rocky. It makes me think. I was thinking about this yesterday, right? That in the case of, let's say, a boxer or a wrestler, my sons love MMA. When you think of a fighter in the ring, they fight their opponent and they give it their all. And even they do the trash talk before, right, leading up to the big event. And think of Trump and Biden this week, right? These are guys that they're the contenders. So here you have these two guys where they
Please keep going with that.
You could have been, Joe, you could have been a contender. I'm telling you.
versus Dominic.
Right, I know. But I'm telling you that look at Joe Biden, who the difference here with some of the Democrats and even Biden, I don't even think this is him. I don't know who. I always try to be an enabler. I know you're going to tell me that. But when Biden came here to Philadelphia, I'll just never forget it. He was here with those Marines behind him, the red lighting, and he talked about you, and he talked about me. He talked about our family members because he said those MAGA. I'm not talking about regular Republicans. Remember that? He said the MAGA, as if we were like maggots, as if we were evil, deplorables. Trump never did that, okay? He focused like a fighter, right? Like a Rocky. He's going to focus on, giving his hardest hit to his opponent. And yes, that does include the trash talk, right? Because that's his background, by the way, hotels, right? Mike Tyson, all those guys that he associated with, etc. Dana White. So that's where I see the difference is with Trump being a fighter in the ring and, yes, going tough with his KO hits of his opponents, but not with the people, us, the citizens, the voters. And that, to me, is the difference that I hope we can say, let's never do that again. I don't want to put you down. If you're a Democrat, longtime Democrat, how you vote, I'm not going to put you down, but I'm allowed to put down, or question the policies of a certain candidate. Do you see what I'm saying? So I hope we can get there at least with these candidates. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you would hope.
I feel, we played all the ladies shaving their heads and they're saying they're not going to have relations. And I'm just saying, well, ladies, I just feel badly for you. Maybe I'll just send you some new batteries. Go at it. Sorry.
We got to hit a break, Dawn.
Yes, I thought you were just going to go to it. Sorry.
I guess I could have. I ruined the moment. In the moment,
what
else
baby.
Is new?
Woo!
Hey,
Hey, it's Rich Zeoli. You know I travel a lot, right? I'm in New York, I'm on the road, I'm in Pittsburgh covering the election. Well, you know I gotta have a VPN so I can secure my Wi-Fi connection wherever I am. That's why I use VPN from DuckDuckGo Privacy Pro. Privacy Pro is great. It includes the DuckDuckGo VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. 3 features for the price of 1. Listen, when you are on the road, or even when you're home, you gotta have your Wi-Fi connection secure. And with DuckDuckGo VPN, it's secured anytime, anywhere, at home, at work, abroad, coffee shop, hotel, wherever you are. And nobody's tracking your data. It's great. It hides your location from sites you visit, and because your connection is encrypted, even your internet service provider can't see your traffic. Look, do it today. Go to duckduckgo.com/1210. Duckduckgo.com/1210. Get a week on us, and it's only $9.99 a month. Duckduckgo.com/1210.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Have you heard all the talk about fresh pet food? Well, at Dogs and Cats Rule, when it comes to fresh, healthy ingredients, we lead the way. Hi, I'm George Parenti, and I'm here to tell you there's nothing better nutrition-wise than fresh food for your pet. Stop in to one of our 7 neighborhood locations and ask our expert staff how a real, fresh, meat-based diet can change your pet's overall health and well-being. Shop online at dogsandcatsrule.pet. Dogs and Cats Rule. Shop small, shop local, shop family.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-656-1551. That's 800-656-1551. 800-656-1551.
Car collisions are dangerous enough, but when it's an 18-wheeler truck, the results can be catastrophic. Truck accidents can cause serious injuries to other drivers. If you've been injured, contact Morgan & Morgan right now.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
At PGW, safety is essential to delivering clean, reliable natural gas to Philadelphia homes and businesses. If you smell gas, call PGW at 215-235-1212.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
So have you gotten a little something from Elon Musk in the mail? I guess Bob did. Bob, who I just saw at the football game. Bob, what's going on?
By the way, Larry outkicked his coverage with you, Dawn. You were so nice at the game for saying hi. And I played in 5 of those games. So, but yeah, 3 days after the election, we get a check for $100. I almost tore it up, and then I realized it's a check, and it was from the PAC. And we of course, deposited it immediately. And then I heard Krasner got thwarted for trying to sue Elon for this lottery that he was running, but it was deemed legal. So good for us. Thank you, Elon, and
nice.
Go America.
So you signed the petition, and it's interesting that he said that they actually looked through. It wasn't like they mixed up a box and kind of grabbed out names. They were looking for, so they must have liked something about you. They didn't like me, Bob. I didn't get a check.
Yeah, where's your money?
There's a lot to like about me, Dawn.
There is. It was great seeing you. But, you're not alone. I mean, there are stories of people just like you that received an envelope, sealed and, looked like official paper. They thought it was a phony. They were about to throw it out. And then sure enough, it was from America PAC petition, the America PAC, and that they got the check. They cashed it.
I deposited it into my wife's name just in case.
in case
Love you, Dawn.
He first comes on complimenting you, Dawn, and then ends with that.
Thank you, my friend. But how come I didn't get a check? Maybe Larry.
Seems like he's angling for something over there.
Maybe we got the check, and Larry cashed it and didn't tell me.
Uh-oh.
He got my Elon money. Did you get a check? I didn't get a check. $100.
Yeah.
Rather have $1 million, but
right? That would be nice.
What's going on here?
Does Ed have a poem?
Ed, do you have a poem to end our week? Hey, Ed.
Dawn Stendler, you are profound with the pronoun, and you never put people down.
I love your
poems.
Hey,
and when I talk to Dan, my day is properly. Hey, when I talk to Dan, my day is properly planned.
Love you, Ed. Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday, happy weekend to you. Have a blessed weekend. But listen, I just got to tell you, I have to say this, and I know you're going to agree. I love it when the liberals go nuts because I didn't feel too good 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I hope that everybody just give peace a chance. Seriously, I'm not being sarcastic. I hope that even, no matter who you voted for, we Trump supporters, we're thrilled because we know what's on the horizon. But for those...
Oh, yes.
Right?
Great things for America,
yes,
thank God.
Thank God. Make America great again. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a fight and a battle and take a lot of hard work. But I will say this, that I hope that even those who did not vote for Trump are delighted, are absolutely delighted.
Election night, I stayed up all night with an hour and a half of sleep because I wanted to see him live. I didn't even want to record it. I just wanted to hear his victory speech.
Yes.
My wife was up, my son was up, his fiance was up, and we were clapping and cheering all the way.
The best.
Were you guys singing in unison, Give Peace a Chance?
Give peace.
Good one.
Swaying, bobbing your heads.
Ed, thank you, my dear. Have a beautiful Friday.
My pleasure. You're a treasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
A notebook of just things that rhyme with each other.
I know. He does. He's good. He does it to everybody in his family. But seriously, I do hope that...
King of the dad jokes, Ted Milran.
With Trump, he always remembers the numbers, and it bothers him that the whole country didn't vote for him. And that's just it. So he's not going to demonize people who did not vote for him. He's going to want them to flip. Do you know what I'm saying? He's going to say, believe me, you're going to love me. That's his personality.
You think he really cares to capture the purple-haired, liberal that's out there speaking out and chanting pro-Hamas things? And
he's all about, I think that he does, because he cares about that's the one thing he has in common with an Elon Musk. He loves the data and the stat. Maybe it's a guy thing, You guys, you love the stats and the data.
Yeah, fantasy football.
Right?
Yeah,
fantasy football, all that. So I think that's what it is. He wants to have the best. Believe me, I have the best crowd, right? The best stats, the best data. And so that's my hope and my prayer, that everybody is happy with it and that we turn this around. As far as RFK Jr., here's the thing. It's going to be a long, ugly process as some of these individuals like Matt Gaetz during those confirmation hearings, we should try to go. They're going to be packed.
That would be very entertaining.
Am I right? So it's
very entertaining.
It's going to get nasty.
Yeah.
And will the ethics probe about Gaetz, because remember, he resigned from his position. Laura Trump, is she going to get that gig? Because she said yesterday that she would love if DeSantis appointed her for that gig as the next Florida senator. Maybe Dom Giordano, because Dom has become very friendly with Laura. So maybe he'll talk to her about it. I think Laura Trump would be a great senator. Remember, she wanted to run for Senate in her native-born North Carolina, but she and Eric and the kids, we know that they're full-time residents, so she has the residency. So she's teed up for that.
The thing, though, I'd counter, and I want to hear Dom's opinion, is she more valuable with what she's done, creating this whole brigade that have protected an election and flipped some incredible states, even New Jersey's like looking red. It's crazy what she's done with the RNC. Do you really want to take her away from that? Dom?
Well, she's kind of, didn't she, Dom?
No, I wouldn't take her away from the RNC. She's grown over that year. Before she did it, she meant well and all that. Yeah. But boy, once she was in charge of that, she was a hero in early voting, mail-in ballots. I hear she would be valuable in the Senate, but I think she wants to continue this campaign forward. So,
well, I don't know. I think that she'd be honored. I think.
Oh yeah, sure.
I think that she's got her eye on that. I don't know. Would be interesting.
From a title standpoint, I do think United States Senator is a little.
Well, she gets the Senate. We tag in Scott Presler to be the co-chair. I can see Michael Watley sitting there with Scott Presler. What a duo!
And Michael Watley's like, Scott, not for nothing, but Laura had much nicer legs.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
But Scott's got the hair.
You're allowed to say that, Dawn. We can't.
I know. I can say that. But Presler's got probably the most beautiful hair of anybody. Can I say in the campaign? I don't know what his secret is, but he does. He has. I
She's
love
really
his
trying
hair.
to bait you here,
I'm
Dom.
obsessed.
We'll be, I'm sensitive about hair. We'll be asking him about that, what the secret is, and maybe in person coming up here.
Ooh,
but we got something going on.
Ooh.
So, Dawn, Wally Zimmelong, who's doing the federal case, we hope he joins us here. Diane Marseglia has been on the show before. I don't blame her. I blame the voters in Bucks County. They wanted abortion. That's all they cared about. And this woman is making national news as both a laughingstock and a shock by what she's just said.
Wow. We can't wait for this. An awesome Friday edition of The Dom Show.
This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, at Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
So last year I had the bright idea to dig up part of my backyard to put in a new patio. Little did